Alright guys, so now we are on to the award ceremony, and now I bet you're wondering why I've got a different change of clothes on. It's because I had to record it at a separate time, just purely because I had to go out. I completely forgot I had something on. But we're here now, and we are going to start off with the worst player. We'll just get it out the way, rip it off like a band-aid. It's a joint award, guys. And you know what? It's an award that not many people want to get, if anyone wants to get it. But it's got to be given out. Joint winners, Sylvain Distin and Gareth Barry. I was hoping that both of them would be like integral to my squad, that they would both help out tremendously. But you know what? They haven't. Sylvain Distin he was a truck, man. And you know, the one thing he's got in his advantage is his height. He's massive, and he still at times was seriously lacking for me, and that really annoyed me. You know, he's not the quickest, but you know, we had Stones to back him up, and you know, he never formed a solid partnership with anyone, so that's why he gets it. And Gareth Barry, well, for me, he had one job to do, mate. Keep it solid, get us the ball, win it, spray it, give it to Depay, give it to Barkley, give it to Morales. That's it. And at times I thought that he, you know, the most basic tackle would give a free kick, or just too aggressive, or you know, it just didn't add up, man. And in the end, I hardly even played him, man. And you know, McCarthy ended up being that man. I didn't expect McCarthy to be that good, but mate, he picked up the mantle, no problem. Now, getting to the most underrated player, we've just finishing mentioning him. It is James McCarthy, guys, and that's why he's presented with this lovely little trophy right here, guys. As you can see, sensational. In regards to McCarthy, mate, he was brilliant all friggin' season. Probably one of my more consistent players, I dare say, if not the most consistent. He does all the dirty work that none of you guys see. Do you know what I mean? It's the highlights that don't make the reel. You know, that crunching tackle where he got it off to Depay, and then Depay went on that run. Do you know what I mean? It's just the real dirty work he was there to do, mate. Now, the two biggest awards, young player and best player. You know, normally you don't think young player is you know, that big of an award, but you know, this season it's definitely coming to the equation. So I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with this, but best young player is Memphis Depay. Reason being, guys, he was absolutely sensational. He was coming in his first season at Everton and just took off, man. He was just on another planet. You know, we had offers coming in for him, and it was just brilliant, man. The amount of games he won single-handedly for us was just magnificent. So, Memphis Depay, here is your trophy, Sonny. Yeah, good on you, mate. Now, the best player of the season for me, I'm sure you've all figured it out. It's Romelu Lukaku, guys. The reason being is that he was our top scorer. He was our focal point. He led from the front. He defended, you know. And at times I thought we can do without Memphis Depay on the wing. You know, if McGeady can come in, he can do a job for 1 or 2 games. But when it came to Lukaku being injured and you know, Morales or Eto'o had to go up front, mate, I felt lost. It just did not feel the same. The entire team just changed, and it just didn't really work out. So, here is your trophy, Mr. Romelu Lukaku. Enjoy, mate. Alright, guys, so that's going to conclude the award ceremony. Alright, guys, so we're going to start off at the league table and just look at the overall team stats. So, we played 38 games, obviously. We won 22 of those. We lost 9 and we drew 7. So you know, that's not too bad, but the loss ratio is just far too high, and as you can see, it told in the end. Losing the title by 6 points to Chelsea. We scored 42 goals, conceded 28, and had an overall goal difference of 14. Goals, mate, that's the problem. Look at the goals in the other teams. So look, from Liverpool in 6th spot all the way to 1st, everyone's in the 50+ department, and look at us. We are on par with Newcastle United in 13th spot. So as you can tell, most of our wins would have been quite narrow, which they were. As I said before in the previous squad report, we've never blown a team out. We've never absolutely punished someone, just purely because we didn't have the enough attacking threat, or we weren't able to finish. But our defensive display is pretty good, man. I would have probably liked to concede half those goals, but you know, as a young defense, first time around using Everton, and we'll improve on that. I expect to make that a lot better in terms of goals against. But now I'm going to take you over to the squad stats. Alright guys, so here we are with the team stats. Now as you can all see, Joel Robles has topped it. Now let me explain something to you. You can only be given a rating depending on how many games you played and how you played in those games. Joel played 4 and played quite well in all those 4 games, meaning that he tops the list because his average performance was the best. But in reality, Tim Howard and Memphis Depay are our #1 players. You know, overall rating of 67. I'm just going to go through the top 5 guys. You know, as I said before, Tim Howard was just great, man. Truly kept us in games at times, and we probably wouldn't have ended up in second spot without him. Memphis Depay, mate, gave us goals, gave us flair, gave us setup play. Just brilliant, and he was probably definitely one of the best players. Seamus Coleman, Mr. Consistent at right back, always giving me something, man. And he probably would have ended up playing a lot more games if it wasn't for that injury. Romelu Lukaku, for me, our best player. Just because I felt we could do without Memphis Depay in games, but not without Romelu Lukaku. And the amount of goals he gave us, and just the presence he gave us up forward was just unmatchable. And we have Brian Oviedo, guys. As you can see, he only played 5 games, meaning that his overall is 66. But in reality, it's McCarthy that finished in 5th spot. And as I said, man, Mr. Underrated does all the dirty work that no one sees, and just gets on with the job, and just gives us hard grunting work, man. But now, guys, we are going to move on to transfer targets and what I'm going to be looking for in the next window. Alright guys, it's a small matter before we move on to that. We have to give out some new contracts. So as I said before, Garber is here to stay. Just it's a matter of him growing. So let's give him a new contract. 4 years, 9 grand. Give him a little bonus, and you make him a sporadic player. As I said, this team won't be going anywhere. Neither first team, neither will Osman. They'll both be leaving, and it's a hefty wage right there for both of them, guys. So that's going to add a nice little bonus for us. Hallam Hope is not good enough. Lundstrom isn't good enough. I'm going to give Long another chance to go on loan. He improved a fair bit, so if he can do it again, end up as a 67 overall player, we'll definitely take another look at him. Alright guys, so here we are with the transfer targets. It's a hefty list, so I'm just going to group them and tell you who they are, and obviously how hard we're going to go for them. So we'll start off in the goalkeeping department, guys. As I said before, Tim Howard's getting on, and Robles isn't good enough, so we obviously have to bring in someone younger. So we've got the PSG keeper who's currently on loan to Bastia, Areola, I believe you say it like that. Young player, and yeah, someone with full potential. Scuffit, young, excellent in the future, so he's definitely on the list. Stefanos Capino, young Greek keeper with a lot of potential. Leali, a Juventus keeper who's on loan to Cesena. Jack Butland, who I'd like to get purely because he's English and has a fair bit of potential. Castiles, probably a bit old, but potential nonetheless. And Timo Horn, who I think can be a great keeper. We didn't solve that right back issue, so I've got 3 right backs I'll be looking at. Wallace, who used to be at Inter as well as Chelsea, now with Vitesse. Tin Jedva, a player from Roma that went on loan to Bayer Leverkusen. And Cancelo, who's I believe a Lisbon or Benfica player, but was on loan to Valencia. And as you can see, man, he's done quite well in improving his stats on that loan. We have to obviously replace Distan, meaning that we obviously need centre back. So there's a Congolo, we have Sa from Borussia Dortmund, Ahan from Schalke, Jonathan Tah, Jimenez from Atletico, Romagnoli from Roma, on loan to Sampdoria, Rudiger from Stuttgart. He might be a bit expensive though, as you can see he's improved a fair bit. And Karim Rekic, who is my number one target, left-footed centre back, and man, he's got a load of potential. Really a Man City player, so hopefully they're not too mean to us, and we can bang out a deal. We definitely need a right winger, guys. As I said, not too happy with Adam McGeady and Morales, so we have some options here. Ivan Cavallero, Alvaro Vadillo. He man, he's got a blistering pace on the right wing, very young. I can definitely bring something to us. Vidma, Omar Rowe, a left-footed right winger from Southampton. These guys just can't stop getting poached. And Florian Thauvin from Marseille, he'd be the more expensive option. Left-footed player, load of potential. And Kevin Volland as well would be fairly expensive. We still need a centre mid. We don't need one, but there's a couple options here. Zuccolini, who's looks like Frankenstein, and Ruben Pardo, a couple of young players that we can definitely put in centre mid if the money will be there. We still need a left winger, as I was saying before. Kingsley Coman is an option, but we've also got Dennis Praet, Nathan Redmond, a young English player that we all know, moved from Birmingham to Norwich, and could definitely do us a job in the Premier League. Jesse Rodriguez, probably a bit more on the unrealistic side, but you might as well have a pop at him. If you got Bale, Isco, Ronaldo, and Benzema in front of you, well, good luck, mate. Meha, as I said, Lingard's still a bit young, meaning that I will be looking at more cam options, and I'll be learning out Jesse Lingard and seeing how he does. Depending on how he does, we'll move around that. But I need a better squad for the Champions League, meaning that I've got to bring someone in. Ross Barkley can't play every game, and he's not going to play well every game. So Meha's an option. Maya, he's definitely going to be expensive, man. Just he's improved so much. Sinkgraven, I was expecting him to be a bit better, but yeah, he's not an option anymore. Same thing as Jesse Lingard. Bruno Fernandes from Udinese, I've heard a lot of good things about this guy. Çalhanoğlu from Bayer Leverkusen. Leonardo Paredes, he's awesome, man. I've used him in previous FIFAs and he's a star. Lorenzo Insigne, but a bit too expensive for us, man, so he's more on the fantasy side. Bit of window shopping there. Filip Juricic from Benfica on loan to Mainz. He was really impressive against us in the Europa League, so I had to check this guy out, and as it turns out, good young player, man, so he's an option. Morgan Hazard, the brother of Eden, definitely an option, man. As you can see, he's got a bag of potential, good stats there. And more window shopping, Roberto Firmino. And we got Ravel Morrison, good young English player who's just improved so much, and he's going to be expensive. Fekir from Lyon, Zapata from Udinese, Yildirim from Bremen. Now we've got some right wingers, guys. Ndiaye from Lyon, Bertrand Traore, who's a Chelsea player and at Vitesse. Deulofeu, who's once with us on loan. How's he going to get into that Barcelona squad? Come home, mate. Come to Everton. Ocampos from Monaco. Rio Miyachi, an Arsenal player on loan to Twente. Berardi, a Juve player on loan to Sassuolo. And now, guys, onto the striking department. This is going to be crucial for us. We have to recruit well. Sam Vieto won't be staying around, and I might even get rid of Naismith. So we've got Ahmed Musa. This guy is so friggin' fast, man, and he's a great great opposite to Lukaku. You know what I mean? He gives us something different, so that we can play him together, or we can play him separate depending on the opposition. Vieto, I don't know much about him, but 21 years of age and a 75 overall. That's not bad. With some Ben Yedder. This guy's just an X-Factor player. I've used him in previous FIFAs, and he's not bad, man. Yusuf Poulsen, 21 years of age and a 75 overall. Look how quick he is, and look how strong he is. Definitely an option. Luis Muriel, very similar to Musa, probably just more dribbling orientated. Neil Maupay, he's a very onward prospect. You know, he'd be like the third striker there. And just a couple left wing options. We've got Keita from Lazio, Boetius, Anderson, and Kishna. Now, guys, that wraps up in the entirety of season 1. I just want to say a quick thank you, guys. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for all the support, all the comments, all the likes and tweets, and it's just been brilliant, man. I've never would have expected a response like this. I was telling Curtis I'd be happy with 100 views a video, and man, that's happened. So thank you so much, guys. I'm looking forward to further growth and getting to know you guys a bit better as well. As you all know, we're going to be playing a few more games. I'll be touching on COD, GTA, as well as Ultimate Team. So you guys have plenty to look forward to, guys. We should be in the midst of all that by now anyway. But look, season 2 is definitely on, man, and it won't be too far away. We've got an even bigger season, man, because we're in the Champions League and we want to be challenging for the title again, man. So the standard only increases, guys, and the players only get better. But that's it, guys. I'm Edgar TV11. Thank you so much, guys, and take care.